Hey guys, Ken here with Tags Canine. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the more common questions I get with regards to food, what we feed the dog, not only here, but what we would recommend feeding your dog. There are so many choices and so many options out there. Just take a walk in any pet store and you'll see a myriad of different options. But I'll tell you some of the things that I like and why I like them. So let's start off first with the most common type of dog food out there, which is kibble. Kibble comes in a variety of different brands. We use Taste of the Wild, the salmon flavor. The reason I like this brand is it has a high level of protein in it, meaning the first and second ingredients on this kibble is going to be a protein source. So if it's Taste of the Wild, then it's salmon is the first ingredients. Then might come a fish meal or a byproduct. But understand, guys, that the first few ingredients really should be protein based, because that's what dogs prefer. As we move over to kibble, I want to just point something out here. A lot of times dogs come to me in one of three states: overstimulated, overfed, under-exercised. And so a lot of times it's that excess energy that tends to create the manifestation of bad behaviors. And it's the fuel. It literally is the fuel. So let's look at what this really is. Kibble is nothing more than compacted cereal. It's just got a bunch of nutrition crammed into it. And as you can see, this is about 15, 20 pieces of kibble, very greasy, very unappetizing. And when kibble hits water, this is what it looks like. This has only been in this cup of water. The same handful of food you see here is the same amount of kibble that's in this glass right now. And it expands and it grows in their stomach. So when we take a cup, and the dog food recommended suggestion is 1 cup of food twice a day. This is 1 cup. 1 cup into a bowl doesn't look like much. But when you take 1 cup and expand it with some water, you're going to find that you're going to have more food than your dog needs. And because your dog is a predator, he's an animal of opportunity. Most likely the reason he's going to devour all his food is because in his mind he may not eat for a while. So he wants to get as many resources as possible. Since that's not really much of an issue because we provide that food for him, we can control the amount of food that he takes in. With that being said, kibble can also be very blasé. You eat it, you tend to be creatures of habit, so we buy the same food. We don't really encourage so much flip-flopping of food because it can have some digestive issues. So the dog, for the majority of its life, tends to eat 1 or 2 types of dog food, which can be very kind of, like I said, blasé. So there are ways that we can kick it up a notch. A little bit of Emerald Lagasse, we're going to bam it up, and these are the ways that we do it. We do it in... we can use a chicken or beef broth in a canister like this. The holidays come up, just pick up a couple extra one of these. You can pour a little bit over there, and now all of a sudden you've got a little extra flavor to add to that kibble. It will also help start the digestion process. Remember, this is a key part of it. Also, you can just add some water to this. That will basically help liquefy it down a little bit. When the dog eats it, it'll digest better. Another tip that I really like, this is sort of my go-to, is I like to use chunk tuna in water for 2 reasons. One, it's very inexpensive form of protein. It's very healthy. And then what I'll do is I'll just take a little bit of the water and pour it over the top of the food. And then I'll take a little bit of the tuna and put it in here, mix it up, and now all of a sudden the dog's got a completely different different meal. And you can get 1 or 2 meals out of that. That's a really great alternative, very inexpensive, ways that you can kick up the quality and taste of the dog food. Ground beef, you can buy these chubs at the store. Dogs are predators, guys, so they have the ability to eat raw meat. You can buy something like this, slice it up, and give them a puck and put it in that bowl as well. This doesn't cost very much. You can put it in the freezer. You can pre-slice it, and now you got an extra topper for the week. So you can actually cut back a little bit on this junky kibble, and we can start adding some more nutritious and good food that the dog will really be able to benefit from. Another option that clients like to go for is dehydrated food. So dehydrated food is dehydrated with raw in it, and it it is a very convenient, easy, and very nutritional ingredients in this product. So, for example, to give you an idea, this bottom box here is by The Honest Kitchen, and this is the chicken recipe. Now, this box goes for $56 to $58 on Chewy.com. Free shipping, anything over $50. That's where I get all my majority of my dog treats and food from. But when we look at this, we've got 40 pounds of food for $56 to $58. And it's got 14.5 pounds of chicken in it. So this is far more nutritional and of better value than this Kibble, which is 28 pounds. Remember, 28 pounds, guys. 28 pounds, and this cost me $48. And then when you add that, at the cost value isn't that much more for something like this to add some value to it. I like to blend both in, but it is a great alternative. Now, they can get more expensive. Sojo is another brand. This has turkey in it. They have lamb, turkey, chicken, beef, a variety of different flavors. So by all means, check that out. It's a great alternative. And then when we move on over into the snack department, guys, I want to really stress this, if I can, quality, not quantity. All right, so everything that you're doing with the dog, from the interaction and the training to feeding, is about quality. It's not quantity. So take, for example, on the treat market here, I use basically 3 levels of treats. I can start off with my bare bone basic treat right here, which is, I call these my little poverty biscuits, but they're basically Alpo variety snacks. They're $3 for this big box, and what I do is I use this for my constant reinforcement trick training. So if I have a dog that already knows the commands, that might just need some motivation, then what I'll do is I will use these biscuits. And what's nice with these biscuits is you can take one biscuit and you can break it up into 4 pieces. Now, for this amount of calories, the calories are still the same, the nutrition value is pretty much the same, which is probably nil to none on these sort of hard biscuits. But let's look at this, guys. I can get 4 commands, quality, not quantity, okay? So think about that when you're doing it. Just take that food, that treat if you can, and break it up into a couple parts, and you'll get more repetitions on it, save a little money, but more importantly, your dog's still gonna get the same fulfillment. As we step it up a little bit, and I always start my training with a high value treat. All right, I really want him to be motivated. So we use Happy Howie's lamb roll. It's a beef log. You can just cut it up, dice it up into little sections, sprinkle it on the food. You can use it as a training treat. I get these on Amazon for about 2 log rolls. I think each of these are about 2 pounds each, so 4 pounds for about $20, maybe a little bit more. Made in USA lamb, and these last a long time. So they don't have to be refrigerated when they're in this state, but once they're open, they have to be refrigerated. So that's sort of our high value treat. And then when the dog's starting to get it, we will move down and we will use something along these lines, which is just more of a soft jerky type treat. And I do like these because we still want to do some repetition with the treats. We still want to really get the dog motivated to work for food, to reward him for his performance. But when we use these treats, you can see the treat is, not very big, but once again, just like these hard biscuits, I can break this up into 4 pieces, and now I can get multiple training exercises with one reward. So it's not about the quality or the quantity. I don't want to be shoving a bunch of treats down the dog's throat and get a bunch of unnecessary calories, because then when it comes dinner time, he's not going to be terribly motivated. And then you can use for your constant reinforcement or your off reward programs where you don't have to. Now the dog knows the commands, the dog knows the routine. Now you can reward him every 3 times, 4 times. You change up the repetitions, and then you can use biscuits like this. And then throughout, every time you go into the box, just give him one of these. And every time he comes out of the box, you give him one of these. Every time he does something that you want him to do, you can give him a reward, and it doesn't have to be a really, really super duper high value treat. So we have a variety of different options, and I always encourage you to look at those options. But all clients, I strongly encourage, and to anybody watching this, if you have Netflix or if you have a friend that has Netflix, there's a documentary. It's about maybe 50 minutes long. It's called Pet Fooled. Fooled, Fooled. It's by Dr. Karen Becker, and she will discuss a lot about dog food, how it's manufactured, and really help kind of give you a good overview and a good quality introduction to what constitutes as dog food in America, and you're going to find that the results will shock you. So I strongly recommend it. It's on Netflix, Pet Fooled by Dr. Karen Becker. But in the meantime, if you guys have any questions about the food, where to get it, most of this was acquired at Chewy.com. Your other pet stores will have it. Your boutique pet stores are going to carry more of the higher line products, such as Happy Howie's or the Honest Kitchen or Sojo's. Most of your pet stores and your big box stores will have your Kibble and biscuits like this, but certainly use your online options. If you have any questions about the nutrition, if you have any questions about your dog's training, behavior, anything like that, feel free to give us a call or look us up online at www.tagscanine.com. And shoot us your question. We'll be more than happy to help you. Thanks, guys.